The evening before the most important battle of his life, a Roman general sat alone in his tent. Enemy forces surrounded them. His men were outnumbered. By all calculations, tomorrow would bring defeat. Yet, as he wrote by lamplight, his words weren't filled with fear or despair. Instead, he wrote, "I am grateful for this opportunity to test my virtue." That man was Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome and history's most powerful Stoic. How many of us could face potential disaster with such calm? How many of us struggle to find peace even on ordinary days? We chase happiness like it's something to be captured, a promotion, a relationship, a purchase that promises to finally make everything right. We pursue it endlessly, yet it remains just out of reach. What if I told you that for 2,000 years, the Stoics have known a profound secret? That happiness was never meant to be chased at all. I'm your name from Strong Male Figure, and today I'm going to show you why the relentless pursuit of happiness is actually making you miserable, and what the ancient Stoics would advise you to do instead. By the end of this video, you'll understand why contentment eludes those who chase it most desperately, and you'll have practical Stoic tools to build something far more valuable and lasting than fleeting happiness. Now, let's consider this: the happiness trap. Think about the last time you said to yourself, I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I find the right partner. I'll be happy when I have more money, a better body, a bigger house. The Stoics identified this as one of humanity's greatest traps, what Seneca called the postponement of joy. We place our happiness in some future moment, not realizing we're sacrificing the only time we truly have, the present. Epictetus, who began life as a slave before becoming one of history's greatest philosophers, put it bluntly, "It is not death that a man should fear, but rather he should fear never beginning to live." Consider James, a client I worked with. By conventional standards, he had made it. Executive position, waterfront home, picture-perfect family. Yet, despite checking every box on his happiness list, he confessed to me, "I feel empty. There's always something more to chase." This is exactly what the Stoics warned against. Seneca wrote, "No man can have a peaceful life who thinks too much about lengthening it, or believes that living through many consulships is a great blessing." In other words, the constant pursuit of something more prevents you from appreciating what already is. But this isn't just ancient wisdom. Modern psychology confirms it. Studies show that the hedonic treadmill, our tendency to quickly return to a baseline level of happiness, despite major positive or negative life changes, keeps us in an endless cycle of temporary satisfaction followed by new desires. So what's the alternative? Let's look at what the Stoics suggested instead. The Stoic Secret, pursuing virtue over happiness. Here's the radical Stoic secret: stop chasing happiness directly. Chase virtue instead. The ancient Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, knowing what is within and outside your control; justice, treating others with fairness and kindness; courage, facing life's challenges with dignity; temperance, moderation in all things. Unlike fleeting emotions or external achievements, virtue is entirely within your control. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Consider the story of Cato the Younger, perhaps history's most dedicated Stoic. During Rome's brutal civil war, Cato stood against Julius Caesar despite knowing it might cost him everything. When asked why, he simply said, he preferred virtuous suffering to comfortable slavery. Before his death, Cato spent his final hours reading Plato's writings on the immortality of the soul. The man who chose courage over comfort found peace in his final moments. Not happiness as we typically define it, but something far more profound: contentment with his choices. The Stoics understood something we've forgotten in our happiness-obsessed culture. Virtue creates a foundation that circumstance cannot shake. Let me share a more contemporary example. Viktor Frankl, heavily influenced by Stoic philosophy, survived Nazi concentration camps and emerged with this insight: everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. This is the essence of Stoicism, focusing not on controlling external events for happiness, but on cultivating internal virtue, regardless of circumstances. Now let's consider practical Stoic approaches to daily life. So how do we apply this ancient wisdom to our modern lives? Let me share 3 practical Stoic exercises that you can begin using today. First, negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. The Stoics practiced regularly imagining losing what they valued, not to become pessimistic, but to appreciate what they already had. Try this. For 2 minutes each morning, visualize what your life would be like without something you value: your health, a relationship, or a comfort you enjoy. Then open your eyes and feel genuine gratitude for its presence in your life. Seneca advised, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" This practice neutralizes the hedonic treadmill and cultivates a natural appreciation for what is, rather than a craving for what isn't. Second, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught that suffering comes from trying to control what is not ours to control. He suggested we sort everything into 2 categories: things within our control, our judgments, actions, and attitudes; things outside our control, other people's opinions, external events, outcomes. Try this. When facing a challenge, draw a line down a piece of paper. On one side, list aspects you can control. On the other, list those you cannot. Then focus your energy entirely on the first list. As Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Third, evening reflection. Marcus Aurelius practiced nightly self-examination, asking himself, "What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? How can I improve tomorrow?" Try this. Before sleep, spend 5 minutes reflecting on your day through the lens of virtue rather than achievement. Ask not, "Was I successful?" but "Was I wise? Was I just? Was I courageous? Was I temperate?" This simple practice reorients your mind from external rewards to internal excellence, the true source of lasting contentment. These practices aren't mere philosophical exercises. They're practical tools for breaking free from the happiness trap and building something more substantial in its place. Redefining success and finding peace. Let's be clear, Stoicism doesn't ask you to abandon ambition or live a joyless life. The Stoics weren't against happiness. They were against the fragile happiness that depends on circumstances going your way. As Seneca wrote, "The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." This reframing transforms how we view success itself. True success isn't having circumstances that make you temporarily happy. True success is developing the strength of character to be content regardless of circumstances. Consider this powerful story from Stoic tradition. When the philosopher Epictetus was still a slave, his cruel master began twisting his leg as punishment. Calmly, Epictetus warned, "You will break my leg." When the leg finally snapped, he simply observed, "Did I not tell you that you would break it?" Even in physical agony and injustice, Epictetus maintained his freedom of mind, an internal fortress that no external force could conquer. While most of us will never face such extreme tests, we all encounter disappointments, losses, and challenges. The Stoic approach doesn't eliminate these difficulties, but it provides something more valuable: the tools to maintain your center through any storm. I worked with a woman, let's call her Sarah, who lost her dream job during company layoffs. At first, she was devastated, but after adopting Stoic practices, she told me something profound. I realized the job was never mine to keep. It was only mine to do well while I had it. My work ethic, integrity, and how I treated others, those things remain mine no matter what. This is the essence of the Stoic Secret. Build your life on what cannot be taken from you. As we conclude our journey, let's return to Marcus Aurelius on the eve of battle. What allowed him to face potential defeat with such serenity? He understood what we often forget: external success is temporary, but internal excellence is eternal. The Stoic secret isn't about abandoning the pursuit of a good life. It's about redefining what good means. Not pleasant circumstances that inevitably change, but virtue that remains constant regardless of circumstance. So I challenge you today. 1. For 1 week, stop chasing happiness directly. Instead, at the start of each day, ask yourself, how can I exercise wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance today? 2. Practice negative visualization for 2 minutes each morning. Notice how it transforms your relationship with what you already have. 3. In the comments below, share one area where you've been postponing joy, saying, "I'll be happy when." Let's help each other break free from this trap. If this approach to living resonates with you, subscribe to Strong Male Figure for weekly Stoic wisdom on building unshakable strength of character in a chaotic world. Remember what Epictetus taught: happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Stop chasing happiness and start building the virtue that creates its own reward. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and remember that true power comes not from controlling your circumstances, but from mastering yourself.